Welcome into WCC All-Access. I'm Ezra Broder. Coming up, the WCC loses two of its legendary basketball stars. We reflect on their remarkable careers. Plus, one of the best ballers joins the show. Pacific's Valerie Higgins talks about two of her passions, steals and Star Wars. And Gonzaga has double vision. Meet the two sets of twins leading the nationally ranked Zag women. But first, we pay tribute to one of the all-time greats. Former USF Don and Boston Celtic great K.C. Jones passed away on Christmas Day at 88 years old. Jones led San Francisco to back-to-back national championships in 1955 and 1956. Along with teammate Bill Russell, he helped the Dons to a then-record 55 straight wins. He led Team USA to a gold medal in the 1956 Olympics and then was drafted by the Boston Celtics in the '56 NBA Draft. Jones played for the Celtics for 9 seasons, winning the NBA title with Russell in the first 8 of them. He later became a coach and led the Celtics to 2 NBA titles in the '80s. He also won another 2 rings as an assistant coach. All in all, Jones won 12 NBA championships, more than any other person. He was inducted into the WCC Hall of Honor in 2012. In 1989, Jones was enshrined in the Basketball Hall of Fame. During his induction speech, he talked about his time at the University of San Francisco. Here's more on the WCC Hoops legend.
The Hall of Fame, what it means to me, I don't think I have felt the full force of what I am doing up here in this thing of being inducted into the Hall of Fame. But I do know that all the years of the peaks and valleys with friends on and off the court who helped me throughout from junior high to high school all the way up, they share this very much with me. In other words, I am reminded where I came from, and I do not travel this route alone to be in the Hall of Fame. To the University of San Francisco and the Boston Celtics, I hope I have been a worthy representative. Your opportunities gave me a chance to excel. And my past teammates at USF, the Bill Bushes and Bill Russells, the Hal Perrys, they are, along with the rest of them, they share this with me very much. They have done just a fabulous job at that time of helping me along the way. And by them helping me, it seemed that this thing turned around, that we helped each other. 4 supporting the 1 out there on the court, 12 supporting the 5 from the bench. We were all involved in very much what you call team chemistry.
It's not often you get to meet and shake hands with a legend, and that's exactly what he is. He was a legend as a college basketball player, was a legend as a professional basketball player, was a legend as an NBA basketball coach.
K.C. Jones might be the unsung hero of the Boston Celtics' success over the past 3 or 4 years because he directs the ball club offensively and its fast break, and he certainly directs the ball club with its defense and its full court press.
Great hands by K.C. Jones.
Being here, when I came in, I just felt better when I saw all you guys out there from the University of San Francisco. Beautiful. So, how'd you play?
Pretty good. All right.
All right?
Yeah.
Okay. And you keep it going that way? It's
Make it better.
if it's not going that way, I'll call Bill Russell to come in here.
I'm very proud and honored to be a part of a very exceptional fraternity of achievers, past, present, and yet to be fellow members of the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame. Very much so. Thank you.
Also in December, the WCC lost another one of its all-time greats. Former Pepperdine star William Byrd Averitt passed away. He was 68 years old. Averitt had 2 of the best seasons in conference history. In the 1971-72 season, Byrd averaged almost 29 points per game as a sophomore, and the next year led the NCAA in scoring at just under 34 points per game. He was named the WCC Player of the Year in 1973 and still holds a handful of conference scoring records. Averitt was drafted by the Portland Trail Blazers in 1973, but instead signed with the San Antonio Spurs of the ABA. A few years later, he won an ABA title with the Kentucky Colonels. He later played 2 seasons in the NBA. He was inducted into the Pepperdine Hall of Fame in 1981 and the WCC Hall of Honor in 2017. And in January, the Pepperdine family also lost former head coach Paul Westphal. He led the Waves men's basketball team for 5 seasons in the early to mid-2000s, leading them to the NCAA tournament in 2002. Before his time in Malibu, Westphal played in the NBA for 12 seasons, winning a title with the Celtics. He later coached 3 teams and led the Phoenix Suns to the NBA Finals in 1993. He was inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame in 2019. It's time to take a break. When we come back, we go down the coast to see what's making headlines around the conference. And we get to know one of the best basketball players in the WCC. Pacific's Valerie Higgins joins the show up next. This episode of WCC All-Access is brought to you in part by Nike, Just Do It, and University Credit Union, who invites WCC alumni and fans to bank with their brain and open an account today. We're back on WCC All Access. I'm Ezra Broder. It's time to go down the coast and see what's making headlines around the conference. The WCC's Russell Rule is being discussed at the national level. The NCAA's Board of Governors is reviewing the first of its kind hiring initiative at its next meeting in mid-January. An NCAA committee endorsed the policy in December. The WCC adopted the hiring initiative this summer. It mandates at least one candidate from an underrepresented community be a finalist for every coach and senior administrative position at every WCC school. Former LMU basketball coach Paul Westhead is among the nominees for induction into the Basketball Hall of Fame. Known as the Guru of Go, Westhead led the Lions to the Elite Eight in 1990 after the sudden death of star player Hank Gathers. The first-time nominee joins fellow Lion Rick Adelman as a Hall of Fame nominee. A pair of WCC soccer greats will be donning the same kits in 2021. Former pilot Sophie Schmidt re-signed with the Houston Dash for another 2 seasons, while former Pepperdine star Haley Harbison will suit up again for the North Carolina Courage. And baseball season isn't too far off. The USD junior Shane Mcguire is a preseason All-American. Collegiate baseball named the catcher to its 3rd team. He was 7th in the country in batting average last year before the season was cut short. She's one of the best defensive players in the country, finishing 6th last year in steals per game. But what really drives Valerie Higgins? The Pacific senior talks with Nicole Zaloumis about her motivation and her love of all things Star Wars. Check it out.
The last time we caught up was during the preseason, and obviously we talked about the obstacles of COVID-19, shelter in place, so many different changes heading into this season, unlike any other. And while you guys are still dealing with that a lot, what has it been like the first couple weeks of the season?
Honestly, it's just been a blessing to be able to play and to have a season. There was times when all of this happened way earlier where I was like, man, are we going to have a season? Are we going to be able to play? And just being out there on the court has been amazing for me, and having it be my senior year and that we get to play. But it has been a challenge. We were down our last 2 games, a couple players. We only had 10 due to COVID. And it's just day by day, try to take it for what it is.
Let's talk stats a little bit, because I know that among Division I athletes, you rank 4th in steals. How important is that one particular statistic to you?
It's pretty important. I think I love defense. I always have. It translates. It makes offense so much easier if you could just get run-out steals and layups. Stopping someone and taking the ball from someone is kind of a satisfying feeling almost, And it's just the one thing you can control as a player is effort and intensity on defense. And so I really try to hone that and make that a part of who I am and a part of my game.
Valerie, what was it like growing up with a coach and a father in the same household? What was the conversation like for you at the dinner table?
It was honestly great. It was probably the best thing for me as a player. He really pushed me and motivated me, but he also taught me how to love the game and how it can take you places and how it's so much bigger than basketball when we're on the court. he always told me, you're not playing for yourself. You're playing for like the little girl in the stands that's watching you. You're playing for your family. You're playing for your teammates. And he just taught me so much about the game and about life and how the two kind of intertwine almost.
What have you been most impressed by this season when it comes to the team and how it's changed in years past?
I just think I'm most impressed with our mental toughness. Like, it's been a crazy year and we haven't folded. No one's given up. No one's, thrown the towel in. We all just have been leaning on each other, and sometimes it's hard. Sometimes people have a bad day and we all kind of notice that and we just uplift that person. And we're able to kind of just play off one another and support one another through this time. So it's been really great to see that.
I know when you're not playing basketball, you're a big Star Wars fan. The show Mandalorian is really big in our household right now with my 11-year-old and my 9-year-old, so I've been naturally watching it. I can't tell if Baby Yoda is cute or creepy. Are you a big fan of this show right now? And what's the craze about it?
It's kind of funny because I actually just finished it last night. So I love it. I think it's a great show. The last episode of season 2 was one of the best cinematic experiences. I was literally in my room and trying not to yell and cheer because I was so excited. The ending was amazing. I'm not going to spoil it, but I'm a huge fan. I am a huge Star Wars fan and I love The Mandalorian. I think it's a great series and yeah.
All right, what's your favorite one, your favorite movie of all of them?
Oh, that is tough. I would probably say Revenge of the Sith. That's my favorite for sure, just because I just love Darth Vader. And this is going to sound so funny, but I love the dark side and everything about it, just the passion and the commitment and just seeing his character kind of change over in that movie was really amazing to me.
When we come back, what's trending on social media? We take a look at the best tweets and posts. And you're not seeing double. 2 sets of twins play for the Zags. Can you tell them apart? We get to know them better up next. This episode comes to you courtesy of Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength. Visit HerculesTires.com. And Shamrock Office Solutions, delivering Ricoh digital copier and IT solutions to the Bay Area for over 19 years. Here are some of the best moments on social media. Shout out to WCC legend Steve Nash, another checked box for the former Santa Clara star. He picked up his first win as an NBA head coach. The Nets bench boss is a 2-time NBA MVP and a member of the Basketball Hall of Fame. The best basketball player on the planet is apparently a big Zags fan. LeBron James tweeted high praise for the top-ranked team in the country, calling the Bulldogs tough and saying head coach Mark Few is the truth. And you've probably seen the how it started, how it's going trend on social media. Check out this one about former Zag Killian Tilly, who suited up in the FIBA 3-on-3 World Championship back in 2015 and now is playing for the Memphis Grizzlies. If you've ever seen the nationally ranked Gonzaga women play, you may think you're seeing double. The Zags have 2 sets of identical twins, Jen and Leanne Wirths, and Kaylee and Kaylin Truong. Sounds like a great opportunity for another edition of Know Your Teammates.
I'm kind of regretting this. Then, think hard. Breakfast burrito. Yeah! Yes, Jen! Ice pasta? Yeah! Oh God, I hope I don't spell this wrong. Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I don't even know my least favorite food. Beets. Mexican food. Whoa! Oh my God! Hold on, this is tough. I know this. I've never seen it. No, I thought you were going to say something else. Is it yes? I don't know if it was gonna be it. I don't even know if this counts, but ha 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 ha. Oh my God, I did that. Can I look up my phone? No! I literally can't think of a single song in my playlist right now. What's the one that whenever it plays, you say, this is my favorite song. This is my life motto. Dancing in the Dawn. Bozzy, Paradise? No. Oh! Take the lead! Summer Walker. I've said it recently multiple times. It's like right there. It's right there in my head. Do you know what I'm talking about? You just can't think of it. Oh. What's it called? Got it. The Upside? Yes! The Goonies. Let's go! Lee? Are we thinking the same one? Did I tell you about this?
I hope we're thinking about the same one.
I don't want to tell you because that could be cheating. You go first.
Tom Holland?
Boom. Let's get it.
Rome Flynn.
Whoa! Wait a second. Last night she was like the most common one that people always say. Dude. Okay. I hope it's right because I'm worried. I think I know which one you're writing, but is that how you spell it? You shouldn't be writing that. I'm going here.
Yes! Well, I have 3 piercings and Lynn has 2 piercings.
Let's get it, dude.
Yeah.
Coming up, you know those highlights that just make you go, wow? Yeah, we've got those. Plus, we flash back to the last time the Gonzaga men lost a game. We reminisce with the BYU Cougars up next. You're watching this episode thanks to our sponsors, Heffernan Insurance, because you're different, and Don Francisco's Coffee, premium quality, great tasting, family crafted coffee since 1870, backed by 150 years of coffee roasting expertise for a perfect cup every time. Here's what to watch for in the coming weeks. More sports are coming your way. The indoor volleyball season starts on January 22nd, with WCC play starting 4 days later. And the men's and women's soccer seasons begin on February 3rd, with conference play kicking off just a few weeks later. Welcome back to WCC All-Access. I'm Ezra Broder. February 22nd, 2020 was the last time the Gonzaga men lost a game. It was senior night at BYU, and the Cougars made the most of their opportunity to knock off the number 2 team in the country. Head coach Mark Pope and then senior Yoli Childs talk about the huge win.
Stars aligned because we had a freaking star in this Yoli Childs. He just said, I got this. Kind of took it on his own shoulders, and his guys played with him, and they just came up with a big-time game. But it was one of the epic performances. Our whole team played great, but in terms of individual performance, I'm not sure I saw a more dominating performance all season long in a high-level game than what Yoli did that night. It was incredible.
I'm usually a pick and pop, feet set, 3-point shooter, but I was watching Jake knock everything in, and I don't know. I just saw the shot clock going down and had to channel my inner Jake Toolson.
It's one of those moments, right, where players just step up and make plays, and Yoli did that for us all season long. And it was one of 100 really important plays in that game.
Woolridge double teamed, scrambled for the ball, comes away with it. Celius rips it away from it.
Just a grown man play. That was just like that kind of shows who Zach was in one play.
If you wanted to encapsulate our season in a play, that would be a really good candidate, right? He's made an unbelievable defensive effort. He's laying on his back, and he comes up with a steal, just physically doing it.
Man, it's funny because looking back after the game, watching film, I was like, oh my goodness, these are deep. But in the game, it feels like a normal shot for him. It's something that he practices, and you know, in my opinion, he was the best 3-point shooter in college basketball last year. So we trust him to take any shot.
He had a 3 in transition in the second half, right in front of our bench, from I don't know, it was 30 feet, 31 feet, where it's one of those ones where you're kind of saying, all right, we got a good feel for this game. Let's come down here and get a great possession. And Jake was just like, hey, I'm open. You know, I'm open at 31 feet, but I'm open, and I'm going to bang this. And sure enough, he did.
I think somewhere in high school, somebody told me, I don't remember who it was, their high-level dude, they were like, yeah, when you dunk on dudes, when you get dunks in games, don't celebrate. They're like, it's cooler like that. It's like, I do this. So I usually don't get too excited about my own plays, but that was definitely one that was a lot of emotion. It felt like everything that I sacrificed was worth it, and everything that the team instilled in me kind of came to fruition. So it was super fun.
Horn sounds, here we go.
It's just fun for something like that to happen on your senior night, for your last memory in the Marriott Center to be something like that. So it was super cool, and all the fans were obviously very excited, and it was a fun time to be in Provo.
When you're putting your heart and soul into the game and your sacrifice for each other, man, there's no better fan base in the world to play for, and that was certainly on display that night against Gonzaga.
That'll do it. Thank you for watching WCC All-Access. We leave you with some of the best plays from the last few weeks of action. See you next time.
Once again, Gonzalez using Jackson.
And a steal on the inbound pass. Shaylee Gonzalez with the flutter. 4 points in about 5 seconds.
Murphy with 12. Way downtown. Feeling it.
You got to play him at half court.
27 points.
Torero's up early here, though, 3-0, and this press is causing havoc as it usually does. Gorman to Edwards, off the glass. A steal to offense and an early timeout by BYU.
St. Mary's started to fly around a little bit. You can see them playing with a little bit more energy. Let's see if they can take advantage of it.
Oh my goodness! What a take by Logan Johnson. That's a big jam.
Was a tremendous athletic play by Logan Johnson for sure.
20 on the shot clock. Left saddle on the baseline. Allman and slams it in. Well, that's got to go on the highlight reel.
And with the shot fake, getting some separation. Can't get it to go, but the huge putback dunk by Latrell Jones.
Beal sets the screen, top of the key. Haraki driving right, working on Gorman. Up and under and scores it. And the Broncos lead it. Timeout San Diego. Ashley Haraki with 7.2 seconds to go.
Now the Lions look to push with numbers as Douglas gives to Scott, back to Douglas. Pump fakes, works down the right baseline, levitates, throws it down. Oh my goodness, Damian Douglas took flight.
This episode was brought to you in part by Reveal Suits, the official business apparel partner of the West Coast Conference. It's what's inside. Visit revealsuits.com. And Signature Championship Rings. Your success set in stone.